Everybody, GT here from GT's Barbecue. Happy Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day weekend, and my beautiful wife and camera girl and I are spending the whole weekend kind of out and about doing things together. So we're not going to do a shoot, but I wanted real quick to kind of go over some of the basic grills that I have. A lot of people ask me, gosh, how do you know what to get? Is it expensive? What are the basic fundamental things I need to get into this hobby? So I just want to do a really quick review of the grills I have and the things I use, and hopefully be helpful to somebody out there. So I'm going to go ahead and start going over some of this stuff, so we'll see you in a minute. Okay, so one of the most fundamental things I wanted to start with is this little cart. This thing rolls around all over the place. I've got paper towels on here. I've got storage underneath, pellets, chimney, various cleaning things. Got a nice little drawer on it. I think I paid 79 bucks for this thing down at a discount store. It's got a nice little fold-up shelf on it. I don't actually prep food on here, but it's really handy for moving things on and off of the grill and when I clean. As far as some of the accessories that I actually cook with on a regular basis, I've got, this is just a Ready Check instant read thermometer. I have a transmitter that I set on the grill. I have a probe for food. I have a probe that will just tell me the ambient temperature inside of my grill. And this transmits to this, which I can carry around inside the house or out in the yard or whatever, and it lets me know the temps. Also, as far as knives go, I use these Dexter knives. They're very inexpensive. I think this was 20 bucks. They stay really sharp. They sharpen well. I haven't worn one out yet, but if I do, they're inexpensive. I have a little basic 6-inch boning knife here that's fairly stout. I use this to prep sometimes brisket, chicken, anything I want to cut through. And then I just have a little fillet knife. It's much more flexible. And again, these things are sharp. You can find them anywhere. They're inexpensive. And I find that I use those every cook every time. This is just a little piece of, actually I think this was from metal detecting. It's a probe to go down in the ground, but it works really well for stirring the coals. It's good to have something that you can use with hot coals to move them around. And then a good set of tongs. I actually have to give a shout out to Cooking with Rye. I saw this on his channel. He uses these things, so I ordered them. They're about 15 bucks on Amazon, and they work really well. Nice and long for picking things up. So that's the cart. I'm going to move over here to my basic Weber kettle. This is kind of, I think, a must-have in anybody's series of grills. This one is it's called the Weber Master Touch. It's a little bit taller than the standard 22-inch Weber kettle. A couple of the features it has a bail on the back, so it's handy when you want to take the lid off. The standard 22-inch Weber kettle obviously is a little bit shorter, and it doesn't have that bail, so it has a hook so you can hang the lid on it. They both work well. This I just find for the extra 50 bucks comes with a lot of accessories. I think I got this on sale for $199. The standard one's going to be around $150, $160, but you can find these things all day long on Craigslist. They never wear out, so don't be afraid to pick something up used. Another one of my grills I got that way. So what it comes standard with is the grate in here, and it has a removable center, and you can get a lot of other accessories Weber sells to put in there. You can get a griddle, you can get a wok, So a lot of different ways that you can use that inside part. And it comes standard with this elevated rack. A lot of times I'll do chicken around the edges and jalapeno poppers up top. It's great for extra space, gives you more real estate to cook with. And it comes standard with these little baskets. So these can be positioned right in the middle so you can get a lot of heat, or you can put one on one side, one on the other side. You'll have a hot side, and then you'll have an indirect heat over here in the center. Kind of take them and position them like so. Have more heat here. Again, you have an indirect side over here. So these are really handy. Again, they come with it. For the extra $50, you get these. You get this nice rack with a removable center, and you get this nice elevated rack. One accessory that I did purchase that I really like, I got this from Barbecue Dragon. It's called a Dragon Wing, and I just keep it stored inside of there, and then it just pops open, boom, and you have a nice little shelf. This is really handy. You can hang things on it. It's nice and stable. I usually position it right over the front leg, because I guess if you put something really heavy on there, it could maybe cause a balance issue, but it moves around, and I found that to be awesome. I use it all the time. This is another accessory I purchased. This is called a vortex, and basically you can set it down in the middle of the grill like so, fill it with coals. It gets a lot of heat raging up and out of here. It hits the lid and then pours down over the outside area. It's really effective for cooking things hot and fast like chicken. It gets the skin really crispy, and I find it works well. You can also invert it and use it like this. Put a little pie pan in the bottom. You could put a beer can chicken down in there, and then put the coals around the outside, so you get a nice radiant heat to go around and slow roast if you wanted to use it that way. Okay, and then another accessory that I actually purchased. This is called a slow and sear. It has a removable water trough. It's really heavy gauge steel. You fill this up with water, put your coals in here. It sets right down inside underneath the main rack, like so. Position it however you want. You have your coals here. You can put water in here, and then this has a nice indirect heat side. Sometimes if I want to cook hot and fast, I'll just take the water trough out and just use this side for the coals. This has to be one of the most versatile cook anything, hot and fast, low and slow grills that or pieces of equipment you can actually own. Everything just kind of fits together. It's modular. You can get all kinds of accessories. So for the basic unit for under $200, this is really hard to beat. And then of course, I think I paid around $40 for this Dragon Wing accessory. I think that slow and sear was like $99. So this will really do almost anything that you could ever want to cook. You can low and slow a brisket. You can do pork butts. You can cook chicken, obviously burgers. You could put a wok in here. And, you know, this is for somebody who wants to get started and really just wants to have one grill. I couldn't say enough about the Master Touch. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is my Weber Smokey Mountain. They're referred to often as WSMs. This is an 18.5-inch model. It also comes in a 22 and some smaller sizes. So just some of the basic features. It has a door so that you can access the inside. The coals are going to be down there. We have a water trough. We have a lower rack. And we have an upper rack. Some of the accessories I have for this, I bought this hanging rack from Gateway. This comes from their series of drum smokers. It fits perfectly in here. I can take the water pan and the racks out of here. You can hang ribs, you can hang chicken. This thing works really well for lots of things. I have done some modifications to this. One of the first things you'll notice is it has a hinge on the back. This is really nice, so you don't have to figure out where you're going to put the lid during a cook. I got this from a company called Cajun Bandit, and I will put the link for all this stuff down below in the description. I also bought some rolling wheels. So as I move this thing around on the patio, clearly it's easier to do with the wheels. They do lock, and it also has some locks to hold the two sections together. And by that I mean this comes apart, and the way to set it up is we put our coals and our wood, whatever the fuel we're going to use, down in here. We have 3 vents that you can adjust on the outside, and then once you get that going, we just put it back together. And it's sometimes nice to be able to lock this just like so. So when you move it around, it doesn't separate while it's got fuel in it. What else? I added this grommet so that you can put cooking probes through without having to feed them through the lid. I actually added these handles to the outside. It doesn't come standard with those. So it's just a little easier to pick it up, move it around. But you know, you can put probably 1, 2, 3. You could probably put 6 pork butts in here. I've done turkeys, I've done hams, I've hung ribs. It has a nice water bowl in it. And these things, I think, it's going to be around $250 to $300. But you can find these, again, all day long on Craigslist. I think I picked this up for, gosh, 125 bucks. And then I added a couple of things to it. But I'm into this under $175. It works great. It's good for low and slow cooks, smoking cheese, jerky. It really makes a nice addition to the other Weber. So between these two, if you have both of these, even brand new, your investment's going to be under $500, and it'll really cook anything you could possibly want to do. Okay, lastly but not leastly, I want to talk about my pellet grill. This actually uses wood pellets. You can get lots of different flavors. I like to use apple and cherry most of the time, but you can get oak, mesquite, pretty much any kind of wood you want, hickory. It is electric, so it requires electricity. I just plug it in, and it fires up. I usually keep the accessories inside here. Got a couple of brushes, and we have a heat diffuser plate. Actually, I'll take it apart real quick. These are really heavy duty racks. This heat diffuser plate just comes out like so. Down in here we have the burn box. The hopper augers the pellets down into the firebox. It ignites, and then you can set the temperature whatever you want it. It's really just like an oven. I can set this thing at 180 degrees or 450 degrees, and it just stays at that temperature. A lot of people ask me about actually baking desserts in it, like pies and things like that, and ask if it tastes like smoke. And honestly, it doesn't. The way it works is the smoke just rolls up around the sides, and at a lower temp it just could kind of hover in here, and that's where you get the smoke for the meat. But at higher temps, the smoke itself kind of rolls up, goes at the top, and just comes right out the top. So you really don't get a lot of heavy smoke for things like pies or even pastries or cookies I've done. So really cool, really handy, really easy. You come out, you hit the button, boom, it turns on. It heats up in about 10 minutes. Honestly, it heats up about as fast as a gas grill would. Another feature this RecTech offers that I really like is this light. It's surprising how well that lights up this entire area at nighttime when it's dark. So may not be a big deal to some people, but I'll tell you, that was something that I just really found to be handy. This feature is really nice. It holds 40 pounds of pellets. You've got two different sides. You could have one kind of wood here, one kind of wood here, and it automatically will mix them together down in the middle. This is great for long cooks. This would cook easily 15, 16 hours, and you'd never have to worry about the pellets. That's what they look like. Just little chunks of wood. Compressed. I use a brand called Lumberjack because it's actually, if it says it's cherry wood, it is cherry wood that's been compressed. Some pellet brands, they'll use oak or some other kind of wood and then flavor it. I don't know if I could taste the difference, but I kind of like the idea that these are pure wood. So that's my pellet grill, and this is a little more expensive. I think I paid right around $9.95 for this, including shipping. You only can buy them from the factory. They are made in China, but they're made to the specifications of, go to a sporting goods store sometime and take some of the other brands. You can literally just take one finger and lift the lid of the really thin metal. So I think the benefit of that is it really helps maintain a consistent temperature, and it really helps hold the heat inside. So pellet grills are really nice. This is a 680 square inches. 680, 700 is pretty standard. This is bigger than I need for a family of two, but I do entertain sometimes, so it's sometimes nice to just, you don't worry about the fire. You just walk out, punch a button. I could put a serious amount of food on this thing and feed a lot of people. So that's pretty much my assortment of grills. This allows me to do anything that I've ever wanted to do. I do want to get a griddle at some point. A lot of controversy between the Blackstoners and the Camp Chef versions, but this is it. Love time in my backyard. A lot of good food comes off of here, and that's my review for today. Stay safe. Please like and subscribe. Have a good Mother's Day, and we'll see you later.